Hey guys, MC Stu here, and today we're going to talk about how to transfer dilithium between your toons. This will work regardless of whether or not you have an account bank or anything like that, so it doesn't require any special purchases. Anybody can do it if you're on a full free-to-play account or if you've spent tons of money. If you played the game for any large amount of time, you most likely know how to do this. So this is going to be aimed mostly at the newer players, or maybe you've never really had a reason to transfer any of the dilithium. Let's briefly talk about why you would want to do that. So generally what will happen is if you're grinding dilithium to exchange for Zen, and we'll kind of touch on that a little bit more in a moment, but you are limited, as you know, to a daily refining maximum of 8,000 dilithium. Now you can do an extra 500 through your fleet. And if you have a lifetime subscription, I believe it's an extra 1,000, I want to say. I don't have one, so I'm not sure. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of you guys that can correct me on that, and I do appreciate when you do it. So if that's incorrect, let me know down in the comments there. And so what'll happen is you will have multiple toons. Some people will roll a whole bunch of them, and they are literally just mining toons essentially. So they don't really play with them. They don't really build them up more than is needed in order to grind out dilithium. And generally those people are running DOF missions and things like that in order to do this. And so what that allows you to do when you have multiple toons is you can refine 8,000. Let's just call it 8,000. I know there's some extra you can do here and there, but so you have that maximum amount, and you can do that maximum amount on multiples of them. So if you have 3 toons and you earn enough to refine the maximum amount on each one per day, then you would be able to have a total of refined of 24,000 dilithium on a daily basis. And so that's only helpful if you can get that all onto one toon, or maybe you want to break it up onto 2 because you're trying to buy some rep gear or whatever it may be, or you're trying to exchange it for Zen, which is kind of a tough situation at the moment. But again, we won't dive too far into that. So me personally, I have 4 different toons. They all kind of main in different roles for the most part. So I have my main tactical toon. He can kind of do everything, but he's generally my DPS. I have, a toon that's just for tanking, and a toon that's just for science. And then I have a KDF toon. And so I'll play on all of those, not specifically to grind out dilithium, but just having fun with the game. And if something comes up like the vanity shields they did a week ago, that was quite a bit of dilithium. I basically was able to transfer everybody's dilithium to one pool and use that to pick up a couple of the shields, which is one of the ones I have on this ship here currently. So being able to move that dilithium around is a big advantage if you know how to do it. And like everything else in the game, there's nothing that really tells you how to do that. And the method we use, I don't even think it specifically was for that. But as a consequence of, being able to purchase Zen and exchange that ability is basically built in the game, and there is a mechanic that facilitates it. So let's jump into it and take a look at that. Before we get into it, I just want to take a moment again to thank all of you that support the channel, watch the videos, thumbs up, and have subscribed, and comments. I get a lot of great comments, questions, and corrections, because I definitely don't know everything. I'll be the first one to admit that, so I really appreciate all the additional knowledge that the community brings to the table for everybody that watches my videos and the other creators here as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look how we go about doing this. So what we're going to want to do is open our inventory. And you may drop into this screen here. So you have your inventory, R&D, and assets. So this is going to show you, as you know, quite a bit of stuff here. So how much EC you have, how many different kinds of rep marks and fleet marks you have, how much fleet credits, and then we get down to our dilithium. So currently I don't have any unrefined dilithium, so just ore. I only have 27,000 refined dilithium. Now you can only transfer the refined dilithium. So let's say that, I got all this and I need it on another toon for a piece of rep gear. So the way that we're going to go about doing this is we're going to go to this exchange button here. Now this is the Dilithium Zen exchange. So when we click this, this brings up this menu here. And this is actually a global exchange that's tied into all of your characters. So let's say you purchase Zen for something, you know, whatever it may be, but you had a little bit of leftover you didn't spend, or let's say you bought it because it was on sale and you haven't bought anything with it yet. Once you purchase that, you'll be able to view your Zen here. And this Zen can be spent by anybody on your account. It's global. So this exchange is a global thing that's tied to all of your toons. And so you could actually say, I want to sell your Zen, and you could sell the Zen right now. Looks like we're getting one Zen for 497 497 dilithium, right? And so if we were to click that and say I wanted that, and you had 20 Zen to sell, you would be able to get 9,940 dilithium. And then it works the same way in the other direction. So if you want to sell your dilithium right now, you would be able to buy one Zen, or you'd be able to buy one Zen for 498. Now, I believe the maximum that this can go up to is 500. I think that's the max. And the lowest that the game will allow you to put in is 25. For one Zen. And so this exchange here is actually, it's an offer system, right? So I could say, you know what, I got 27,000 dilithium. I want to buy Zen, but I'm only willing to pay 25 dilithium per Zen, right? So I could put that in here and say 25, and I have a total of 27,000. We're just going to keep it round there, okay? So if somebody were to buy this offer here, I would get 1,080 Zen, okay? So I say submit the offer. So that has listed this offer. For anybody else that would come here, they would see this listed. Well, nobody's going to do that, right? Because that exchange rate is garbage. And that would mean that for every one of their Zen they're buying, they're only getting 25 dilithium. Where if you go to, you know, selling Zen, they could buy it from one of these other people that are at the market value currently that is 500 essentially, just underneath that, right? So when you do this, I've now just listed an offer, okay? And I'm going to cancel that offer now. Now that I've canceled that offer, it does not put it back into this toons inventory here. See, I still have 713 left because I made an offer to sell my dilithium, the 27,000, for the 25 dilithium per one Zen. So I canceled that offer. Now it is in this global bank, if you will. And so if I change toons, this, and I pull up this same screen, this is going to be here. And I can withdraw that on another toon, which I'll demonstrate here in just a moment. Now, in the past, I've seen other videos and people that have, I don't know if they just didn't understand it very well. They did the same method, but they went with the market rate and then just switched over to the other character real fast and canceled it and withdrew it, hoping, you know, nobody would buy it. So they were using time, hopefully, on their side. Well, I put it up at 25. So at that exchange rate, if someone did buy it from me, well, great. You know, now I have 1,000 Zen, or I could then go and sell my Zen and basically, you know, I don't know what the druple is for that, but basically get what? That's 4 times 5. I basically could get, you know, 20 times the amount of dilithium back if it were to sell for that ridiculously low price that I listed it for. So that's not what we're trying to do here, obviously. But if you do have that question, hey, I'm doing this and I'm afraid someone's going to buy my offer. Well, if they do, then great. Because if all you care about is the dilithium, you could just sell that Zen back and get way, way more. I mean, you put in 25 per and you can get almost 500 per back. So don't worry about that. Just go ahead and list it. The key is that when you go to, in order to transfer it, we're going to do it from the buy Zen screen. We are going to change this middle one, dilithium per Zen, to 25. And then you are going to put in the amount you want to transfer. If you have a ton of dilithium, I can't remember, and again, someone in the comments can correct me, but let's say I had 1 million dilithium, right, and I put it in here, 1 million. It would not let me do that because there is a cap on how much Zen at once you can exchange for. So what you'd have to do is just break that up into increments and then just keep canceling them. So again, just to recap, we're going to buy Zen. We are changing the middle one here, dilithium per zen, to 25, which is the minimum that you could do. And then you are listing the amount that you want to be transferring. In my case, it was 27,000. If it was a lot more than that, I might have to break it up a little bit because, again, it does cap the maximum amount of zen you can trade for at one time. So let's go ahead and jump over to another character, and we will go ahead and claim that on that side. So I've already canceled that offer at this point, so it doesn't matter. No one can buy it now. It's being canceled. It's sitting in that global bank. All right, so let's go ahead and switch here, and we'll jump on my Klingon toon and we'll grab it there. Okay, here we are on my KDF toon, and so we are going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and pull up our inventory here. And let's just go. Okay, I don't need to spread that out. Okay, so we have the inventory. We're going to go back to the dilithium exchange here. So currently I have 8,327 refined dilithium. And you can see here I have a refined dilithium amount in this global dilithium Zen bank of 27,000. And I'm just going to click on withdraw. And I want to withdraw all of it. This box should be checked by default. If you only wanted to withdraw a little bit, you could uncheck this box and type in a specific amount. I'm going to go ahead and grab all of it. All right, so that now shows 0, and now I have 35,000 on here. Now, let's say that you wanted to do, say, multiple toons. You could go through and list it. And what I found for this is if I have it sitting in the bank and I go to do another offer, it is going to grab what is in this bank. So let's go ahead and just demonstrate that here, okay? So I'm going to transfer that 27 again, and I'm going to jump over to another toon. Hopefully somebody else has some that, that I can do here. So let's go 25, and we're going to do that 27,000. Actually, we'll do all of it since it's all together. So we'll just do 35, 325. Okay. So there we go. So we're going to go ahead and list this offer. Now I'm going to leave this offer here because I want to go to a couple different toons and grab dilithium. So let's go ahead and switch over to another one here. Okay, I have switched over to my tank main. So let's go ahead and open her inventory, and she does have some refined here. All right. So I have this amount currently being offered. Now, I didn't cancel that offer on the last toon because I wanted to collect from multiple toons. And the reason for that, and I'll demonstrate it here, it's going to make it kind of weird, but if, let's say that I had canceled it on the last toon, right? So now it's sitting here in the exchange, or I'm sorry, in my global dilithium bank, okay? And let's say I want to do the same thing again. I want to grab this 57,000, or let's just say I just want to grab 30,000 of what I have on this toon, okay? So we're going to change this to 25 again, and we're going to type in 35, 1, 2, 3, okay? And then we're going to say submit offer. Yes, I do. So what's happened is it drew that from what was already in the bank. Well, that's not helping me because I needed to grab it from here. Okay, so the reason that's happening is because you have enough to account for this, and you can't designate, if I have dilithium here and I have dilithium here, I can't tell it where I want it to pull from. So by default, it's going to pull from what is already in this reserve bank here. So let's go ahead and cancel that and put it back to the way it was when we first transferred over. So 25, 35, 3, 25, okay? And we're going to submit the offer. Okay, so now we're back to 0 here, just like when we transferred over. Now remember, I wanted to collect dilithium from a couple of my toons so I could drop it on my main. So we got this from my KDF. Now, and I didn't cancel it because I don't want it in this bank here. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to grab what I wanted to from this toon, 25, and we're going to go ahead and grab 30 from this toon. Now, since I don't have any dilithium already in this exchange bank, it's going to grab it from this toon's inventory. So let's go ahead and submit that. And now I have 2 offers. Now, another method would be when I came over here, I could have just withdrawn what was already here. So canceled the offer, withdrew it. So all of the dilithium is on one toon. this one, and then transfer all of it back in as one offer. So I don't want to overcomplicate this, but basically if you are going to grab dilithium from a couple different toons for another one, just create the offers at 25, leave them posted because no one's going to buy them for that low. And if they do, then you've lucked out. And then wait till you get to the toon that you want all of this on to cancel the offers and withdraw it. So now I have the dilithium from the 2 toons that I wanted, and I'm going to go ahead and jump back over to my main, and we will go ahead and withdraw all of that and put it on him. All right, here we go. We are back on my main, and we are going to open up the inventory. We are going to go to exchange again, and here are 2 offers we made, one from my KDF character and the other from my tanking character, and I'm going to go ahead and cancel both of those. So now I have 65,325 dilithium in this shared bank, and I'm going to withdraw it, and it is all on this one toon. And that's how you do it. So pretty straightforward. This is how you can start to combine those resources. Having an account bank is extremely helpful for this as well, because if you're, legitimately just playing on multiple toons, you're going to be earning EC and things like that as well. And it's nice to be able to transfer it into an account bank. But more than anything, I mean, if you want to grind, there's no caps or daily limits on your EC, right? So other than say, Tour the Galaxy, right? You can only do that per toon once every 24 hours or 20 hours, whatever it is. So having a regular account bank is nice for being able to do that, because you could run Tour the Galaxy on 2 or 3 toons and make almost 3 million, transfer that all into one. But if you are a free-to-play player, then that's something that you have to purchase from the Zen store. So the way that you could get that, and we'll just briefly talk about the exchange here, is you could do, let's say you have 3, 4, 2, whatever it is, okay? You have a couple different toons. Maybe there's an event going where you get a nice little chunk of dilithium as well. I normally will claim those on whatever toon either has none or has, the least amount of dilithium, because then I can get the most out of it. So like my main's generally going to have the most dilithium. I don't have a lot right now at all, because I got cleared out from these vanity shields, but I have a couple toons I barely play at all, right? And it generally doesn't have any resources. I'll normally do the payout for an event, so I'll complete the last event, and before I go into the event tab and claim it, I'll switch over to a toon I never play, and I'll claim it on him, and every day I log in, I'll just refine it on that toon until it's all refined, and then I can transfer it or transfer it as needed. So let's say you also want some Zen so that you can get an account bank, right? So what you could do is be grinding, on multiple toons, transferring the dilithium. So we're talking about grinding dilithium and building up a good chunk of it. And then what we would do is we'd come over and actually make an offer here, a real one. So we want to buy Zen. We're on this same tab, and you would want to pick the one. Generally it orders it for, the best exchange rate at the top, right? So right now I would pick this one, and I basically, for every 1 dilithium, or 498 dilithium, I would get 1 Zen, right? And so in order to know what you need, let's say that account bank, and off the top of my head, I can't remember what it is, but let's just call it 500 Zen, okay? I think it's a little bit more than that, but let's just call it 500 Zen. I would type what I need into the Zen. So forget about what you have, right? So 500 Zen is what I need. So that means I would need 249 dilithium, and I could exchange that if I had this amount for this 500 Zen. That would give me Zen in my bank, and I could go into the C store and I could go ahead and buy that item, or that, I think it's under the services tab. I don't think it'll let me view how much it is. There's one that is a kit. So this one gives you a shared account shared bank. This is slots. I can't see it because I already have it unlocked. But in any case, you would just go into the C store, see what you're going to need to make that purchase, and then you can transfer all of that dilithium to one character, and then you could use that same exact method, except you're going to actually use a real market price, which you do by just double-clicking on this, and it'll set it. So again, to recap, if you want to transfer Zen, I'm sorry, if you want to transfer dilithium, you're going to change this middle number here to 25. There's nobody making an offer that low. And you would put in the desired amount you want to transfer down here. If you want to buy Zen, you're going to pick the one at the top, which is going to be the best exchange rate you have. And then I type in however much I need. If I don't have enough, generally I won't buy it. But let's say, you know, this has gotten low. You don't have enough, but let's say this rate's lower, so it's 400. I can remember a time it was that low at 400. If you ever see that, go ahead and make the exchange and then just keep grinding for the additional you need, because chances are that exchange rate will go up or down, I guess you could say, and you'll get less for your dilithium. So that is just briefly how to actually conduct the transaction of taking dilithium and changing it into Zen. And then obviously at the beginning of the video there, we covered how to transfer dilithium between toons. So all right, guys, I hope that was helpful. I just wanted to throw out something short and easy for you guys there. I know prior to knowing about that, once I figured that out, and I didn't figure it out, I had friends, luckily I'd made in the game, that were able to show me some of that stuff. There wasn't a lot of info about it, and that was extremely helpful when, especially when I was new and really trying to grind some things out and get some of these items without having to spend any money. I didn't spend any money on this game for quite a while when I first started playing it, so that was a real nice little feature to discover and figure out how to use. All right. Well, thank you again for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Again, if this video was helpful, please consider subbing to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. If you have anything to add on what I've gone over, corrections or suggestions, and being able to, grind out dilithium, or any little tricks, to exchanging these things and making Zen, we love to hear from you. I know I do, and so do many others that watch these videos and read the comments. Also, don't forget to check out the Discord. Great community in there. Everybody is welcome. We do periodic giveaways. I will have one coming up probably next week. I'm still trying to work out what it's going to be, but I think it's going to be a good one. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, until next time, stay safe, and thank you very much for watching.